Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin was an American statesman, founding father, and scientist. He has also been known as the first American. He was a very important person in the American Revolution and helped make the 13 colonies one nation. He influenced European scientists. His successful diplomacy in France was an important factor in the United States' win over Great Britain. Chapter 1: The Whistle. Nearly 250 years ago, there lived in Boston a little boy whose name was Benjamin Franklin. On the day that he was 7 years old, his mother gave him a few pennies. He looked at the bright yellow pieces and said, "What shall I do with these coppers, mother?" It was the first money that he had ever had. "You may buy something with them if you would like," said his mother. "And will you give me more when they are gone?" he asked. His mother shook her head and said, "No, Benjamin, I cannot give you any more. So, you must be careful not to spend them foolishly." The little fellow ran out into the street. He heard the pennies jingle in his pocket as he ran. He felt as though he was very rich. Boston was at that time only a small town and there were not many stores. As Benjamin ran down towards the busy part of the street, he wondered what he should buy. Should he buy candy or toys? It had been a long time since he had tasted candy. As for toys, he hardly knew what they were. If he had been the only child in the family, things might have been different. But there were 14 boys and girls older than he and 2 little sisters that were younger. It was as much as his father could do to earn food and clothing for so many. There was no money to spend for toys. Before Benjamin had gone very far, he met a boy blowing a whistle. "That is just the thing that I want," he said. Then he hurried on to the store where all kinds of things were kept for sale. "Have you any good whistles?" he asked. He was out of breath from running, but he tried hard to speak like a man. "Yes, plenty of them," said the shopkeeper. "Well, I want one, and I will give you all the money I have for it," said the little fellow. He forgot to ask the price. "How much money have you?" asked the shopkeeper. Benjamin took the coppers from his pocket. The man counted them and said, "All right, my boy, it is a bargain." Then he put the pennies into his money drawer and gave one of the whistles to the boy. Benjamin Franklin was a proud and happy boy. He ran home as fast as he could, blowing his whistle as he ran. His mother met him at the door and said, "Well, my child, what did you do with your pennies?" I bought a whistle, he cried. Just hear me blow it. How much did you pay for it? Mother asked. All the money I had, said the boy. One of his brothers was standing by and asked to see his whistle. Well, well, he said, did you spend all your money for this thing? Every penny, said Benjamin. Did you ask the price? No, but I offered them to the man and he said it was all right. His brother laughed and said, you are a very foolish fellow. You paid 4 times as much as it is worth. Yes, said his mother. I think it is rather a dear whistle. You had enough money to buy a whistle and some candy too. The little boy saw what a mistake he had made. The whistle did not please him any more. He threw it upon the floor and began to cry. But his mother took him upon her lap and said, never mind, my child. We must all live and learn. And I think that my little boy will be careful after this not to pay too dear for his whistles. Thank you for listening. This is the end of the first chapter. Now some word power. He looked at the bright yellow pieces and said, what shall I do with these coppers, mother? Coppers means coins. Yes, said his mother. I think it is rather a dear whistle. Dear, D-E-A-R, dear means expensive.